Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a wonderful day. In today's video we are going to be doing the book review for Colleen Hoover's book, It Ends With Us. It Ends With Us is a part of a 2-book series. The second book in the series is called It Starts With Us. It Starts With Us is out now. It Starts With Us came out October the 18th. So if you read It Ends With Us and you didn't know that there was a part 2, there is. It's called It Starts With Us and it came out October the 18th. You can find the second book anywhere books are sold. But It Starts With Us. The first thing I will say is please read the trigger warnings for that book before you read it. It deals with a lot of physical trauma and emotional trauma, and a lot of the characters in the book had traumatic childhood. But it is a 5-star read, so please read the trigger warnings before you pick up the book. The back of the book says, sometimes the one who loves you is the one who hurts you the most. Lily hasn't had it easy, but that's never stopped her from working hard for the life that she wants. She's come a long way from the small town in Maine where she grew up. She's graduated from college and moved to Boston and started her own business. So when she feels a spark with the gorgeous neurosurgeon Ryle Kincaid, everything in Lily's life suddenly seemed almost too good to be true. Ryle is assertive, stubborn, and maybe even a little arrogant. He's also sensitive, brilliant, and has a soft spot for Lily. But Ryle's complete aversion to relationships is disturbing, as questions about her new relationship overwhelms her. So do the thoughts of Atlas Corrigan, her first love, and a link to the past she left behind. He was her kindred spirit, her protector. When Atlas suddenly reappears, everything Lily has built with Ryle is threatened. With this bold and deeply personal, Colleen Hoover delivers a heart-wrenching story that breaks exciting new ground for her as a writer. It Ends With Us is an unforgettable tale of love that comes at the ultimate price. Okay, this book is a romance book. This book, I cried a lot. I was angry because it made me question if we experience any type of trauma in our lives and we work so hard as we grow up to not repeat those same things, how is it sometimes we run into repeating the same trauma that we work so hard to remove and get away from as adults? Lily, who's our main character, she has a very traumatic childhood with her parents, and she is so determined not to repeat that she falls into a situation to where she learns that it's not always easy to get yourself out of certain situations. Lily writes to Ellen DeGeneres, so her diary entries as she's looking back and reading her diary, you learn all about her traumatic childhood, and you meet her childhood friend, her childhood kindred spirit. You meet Atlas. Her and Atlas bond because of their predicament, their situation. I won't get into that either. But Atlas is an interesting character. He's a heartbreaking character because of his situation, but I also like Atlas because of his determination, and he's determined to not let his situation determine his future. He wants better for himself. So I like Atlas. Ryle is the neurosurgeon that Lily meets in Boston. He is a broken person. He goes through something traumatic in his life that shapes his attitude, and he's determined to be not only the best at what he does, he's determined to be better, but he just don't know how to get there. Ryle and Lily's relationship, how that comes to be and how that starts, it's like a whirlwind because they meet on a rooftop after Lily's long day and Ryle's long day, and they're both trying to get over their emotional situations from the day. And they have this deep, raw, real, honest conversation that's going to be important to the story. They tell so many truths in this opening meeting that you wouldn't think anybody would have enough heart to tell the stranger that much personal information about themselves and also the bright futures that they see for themselves. But the most beautiful thing that comes out of this story is the relationship and the way Lily sees her mom now that Lily has more life experience. And you're probably like, Jasmine, you're being vague. Yes, I am being vague because I don't want to spoil the story for you. And I'm also being vague about it because I know how deep the trigger warnings go in this book. And I don't want to trigger anyone if I say certain things about this book. But if you are in a book club, this is a book that I feel is great for a book club, even though it has trigger warnings, is because you get the perspectives you're gonna get from reading it, not only from yourself, but listening to how other people might handle the situations in this book if they were in the characters' positions. Will shock you. Because when I first read the book, I was like, no, I would not let this happen. If it happened, walk away. That's how I felt. I would walk away. But the more I read and the more I listened to why people think the way they think, why they stay in certain situations, it changed my mind. It didn't change my mind of what I would do in this situation as far as walk away, but it did make me understand why people stay. What drives people to stay in the situation. And then forgiveness in itself plays a part in it because you have to forgive yourself for being in the situation, and then you have to forgive the person that caused the in the situation. I still don't really have an answer to the question that I've been asking myself since I read it. How do we repeat our emotional traumas when we work so hard to get out of them and to stay away from them? We can recognize them enough, but how do we recognize them to the point of where we know, be confident in ourselves, that we won't fall into the same patterns that once hurt us and caused trauma? I'm still asking myself that question because I don't know the answer to that. Because you might say you would do one thing like I just said. When I think about it, on one hand, based off of the situation in this book and how it went down, I would have been like, the first time it happened, I would have been out. But then I think when you love a person, do you stay because you love the person and you're hoping the person can change? But then you have the other hand and the other thought on your mind that people, you hear the saying that you can't make a person change, you only can change yourself. And the first thing I think of is the serenity prayer when reading this book because the serenity prayer, I am paraphrasing, I'm not giving you the whole prayer here. It tells you to grant the serenity to accept the things you cannot change and the wisdom to know the difference. There's more to the prayer, but the serenity prayer comes to mind when I think about the situation. And then to see how much kind of resentment Lily had for her mother based off of the situation when Lily was a child, and then to see Lily in the same situation as her mother and learning that her mother made the best decision with the information she was given and the way she felt about the situation, but at the end of the day, her mother helped her to make her own decision whether to stay or go. This book questions a lot of things we think we know about people, situations, and how judgmental we can possibly be sometimes if we're on the outside looking in. There is one passage in the book that stands out to me that I cannot read on camera because it is triggering and I don't want to do that. But it is on page 322 and it happens during the conversation with Lily and her mother after Lily's trying to make her decision on what to do about her own situation. She goes to her mother. What I like most about this book is that nothing in this book was sugarcoat. It was open, it was honest, it was real, it was powerful, it was heartbreaking, heartwarming, and all of those things. And if it sounds like I'm crying behind this camera, I kinda am because it's something you see so often. This is not something that you would want to see happen to anyone, but you can, after reading this book, you can understand how people fall into these situations, whether it's from generational past or just meeting someone on a roof. In Lily's case, it happened to the generation before, and she also met this person on a roof. And even though they had a real, open, and truthful conversation when they first met, she still had to peel back the layers to find out why was the person she met this way, and they had to tell some naked truths along the way. You'll understand what I mean by that when you read the book. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, I'm always thinking of you. Sending my love, and bye for now.